What's that at? 99%? I'm gonna turn on the music, but if it gets copyrighted, I'm gonna be so angry. And it's already too loud for me. Quiet. It doesn't understand what quiet is. I'm gonna be playing as Hungary. Because I'm hungry for power. Specifically, fascist Hungary. I can't play Roblox, so I'll just play this game instead because I seem to like it. By seem to like it, I mean I love it. And also because I don't think any girls play this game. Oh no. I play this game. If you could load faster, I would appreciate it. Thank you. No, honestly, I don't give a flying fart about production right now.
Értettem.
I just wanted to span this and put this down. And now I can get rid of something that I don't need. And then I need civilians right now. For civilians. And I don't have any artillery templates. So I'm gonna just do this, and now I'm not out of resources. Disable this, disable this, disable this notification, disable this notification. This is not gonna ever appear. Let's if we go down the communist route, which I'm not gonna do. Research into electromechanical engineering, construction, basic machine tools. I don't care about free military. I will be used to army though.
Indulásra kész.
Under Ivan Hindi? I have no idea if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry in advance if you're Hungarian and I pronounced that wrong. Industrial revitalization. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect everything in one giant railway web. So I'm just gonna go out one, go back inwards, go back inwards, go back inwards. This is basically gonna make a web, so even if I use resources at the weirdest place, I can still technically deal with it. So it's just a web. So you start by making triangles in the center. And if they ever become a square, just divide them in half. Now I have a little diamond shape. And then we connect inwards. We go outwards, inwards again, and connect them all together into little triangles. This works well for small countries, but for bigger countries, you're just gonna have to cope with building a non-triangle railway. And they're on one railway, so they're faster to build. Since I'm playing on historical, no one's gonna attack me unless if I join the Axis, so I'm not gonna do that. Suddenly, I have plenty of things free for constructing railroads, as I don't need any forts. as long as I don't cause any real tension, it will be fine with me and won't guarantee anyone that I might possibly justify against. Now, green is the closest to, you know, oh, I am max supplies, don't worry about me. And blue is closer to, I'm fine, but I would like some resources. And red is, also I can't see chat because I cannot figure out how to make OBS Studio be able to see chat because there is no tutorials on how to do that yet. Because there's a tutorial for Twitch, but not for YouTube, for what I can assume is payment reasons or something. Once they're all triangles, they basically don't need to be modified again, usually. Stop upgrading yourself. It does that automatically. And then you could just put supply hubs wherever it's a dark blue. I think it distributes it throughout the area, so usually you need one, but I'm putting down two just in case. And then I am going to develop the infrastructure by one on every single place. Put down one civilian factory, one military factory. Now save the rest of the slots for later. But if you don't need military factories, this is kind of a weird plan. You put the supply hubs below everything by doing shift click, because they are the costliest to construct, as you can see. And you can put in reinforced electrical grid for less energy requirements, or high capacity electrical grid for more resource gain. I like this one. And it goes much faster with one railway versus a long continuous railway. My cat is here. Do you have any commentary on this, Bobo? Bobo, do you have any commentary? No? You just like the wires? You like to chew on the wires? No, we don't do that. But I will say, you are adorable. And the web will connect automatically. Sure, it might look like a giant mess, but it's efficient, and that's the thought that counts. Bubba. Why? Why? Stop. Why did they put Windows button on both sides of the keyboard? Queues go by much faster when, you know, the thing you're trying to build is much smaller. You know, since I disbanded the cavalry, I don't need to upgrade it. You could keep the cavalry if you want, but I don't really care for it. Goodbye, Ethiopia. This Italy is playing better than literally any of my attempts on Ethiopia. They are a pain. He's purring really close to the microphone, and the microphone is like picking that up. That's amazing. once you build one infrastructure, you gain resources from that province and will usually fill your deficits. The reason why I'm not trading and why I'm not doing the airport stuff is simply because I don't want to. But if I already cripple my only 5 factories, then there's going to be barely enough for all these railroads. It's a web of railroads. And you can't build on this tiny little lake. There's just a tiny little lake. I wish I could train on the lakes, but I can't. Let's do that. Bubba's getting comfy on my keyboard. Bubba.
Listen and look.
There we go. It worked. Within time, I found another way out. It goes much faster. Repairs are usually only when there's resistance, but if you have cores on the territory, usually it doesn't matter. And some objectives they can get via national focuses can make some things core territories, like reaffirm territorial claims. And you have every right to claim that land, and therefore you won't get any penalties, you won't get any resistance. This doesn't require any army. And then you can get ERDs. I want more civilian factories. You can get both if you want, but you don't need both for that 4th research slot. I know you're purring. I know you love my pets. I know you're really needy, Bobo. Cool. And then I'm turning all notifications off. Turning off minor pop-ups because I don't need that. You can disable news pop-ups if you want to, but I like to be informed because I cannot memorize the timeline for the life of me. Now 6 static oil experiments won't cost a year. Oh, that's a little heart. A heart of despair and anguish. Once you get to construction 1, they'll increase construction and repair speed. Go down the industrial and engineering line. If you're a smaller country like Hungary, and you're on historical mode and you won't get involved in a war until you join a faction, then don't join that faction. Or you could do it anyway, it'll be funny. I have increased political power of the non-aligned, but it doesn't really do anything to stop the anklets of Austria. I mean, you could still do it, it will be funny, and it'll, occupy you with something, but it's not really functional. You can still do it, it'll be funny. But other than for the funnies, it's not really efficient. I still do it for the funnies because I don't know what else to do. And with it reintegrate the railroads, oh look at that. That one infrastructure that we placed, which would cap out, now does cap out. That's crazy. Maybe it's because we picked that focus. Yes, I know civilian factories are created slower than military factories, but would you rather have more stuff building or more stuff producing? I'd rather have more stuff building. Remember that your civilian factories might be put into consumer goods. Like if you see that you had 5 factories on consumer goods and 5 to work with, that means that if you get 12 factories, you can assume that 6 will be put into consumer goods. Yes, they do use the military factory for consumer goods. Because you shouldn't be using them, apparently. And look at that, another train. I like trains. You want to make trains so you don't have to yoink them with economic policy. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have enough trains or not. It's still gonna want you to yoink them. But I haven't seen any use for trains in Warfare. Like, at all. It's actually kind of annoying that they're trying to make me yoink something I don't want. But whatever. I've disabled the fog of war. So now we can see everything more clearly and don't have to deal with annoying stuff. I'm gonna get Captain of Industry to construct more things more faster. As you can see, it's modified by him. I am not gonna try to pronounce his name. Don't even let me try. Because I'm going to offend everyone by accident. Now, the mutually exclusive one, it really depends on what you're gonna do. If you want to be aggressive, go for dispersed industry so you don't get bombed to death. And assuming that you can't gain air superiority against your most enemies, which you will probably not gain. Concentrated industry is when you're not gonna be as aggressive, or if you can get air superiority. My cat is going at me for not petting him. I'm so sorry. Recommend getting synthetic oil experiments in fuel refining 1 as soon as possible. If you play as Germany, you're already going to have it, but you're also going to have a bunch of little problems. Because you're Germany. See, it works. Even if it looks like an atrocious mess, it still technically functions. It functions. Which is the best part because you don't know which land is gonna run out of railroads next. And you never probably will. An unstable alliance. You cannot respond literally anything else. I'm too afraid to play China, so I don't know how one of the Chinese nations would respond. I'm going to get dispersed because for the Great Hunger achievement, I'm gonna have to take Austria, parts of Czechoslovakia, actually the majority of Czechoslovakia. And if Czechoslovakia doesn't exist, I still have to take parts of Slovakia, and Romania, and Yugoslavia. I have to take a bite out of all my neighbors. You can do air training, but do not do it during the night. If the pilots are amateurs and they do it during the night, they are going to die. So only do it during the day. It doesn't give you any negative debuffs, only doing it during the day, like, oh, you get a boost during the day, but a minus during the night. No. Doesn't work like that, therefore, you should minimize casualties by, you know, not doing it in the middle of night. But I also recommend having a good synthetic oil supply before you start doing pilot exercises as you know, it's a pain. And once you deploy a new piece of army, you want to train them, because if you don't train them, then they won't gain any army experience. Just make sure to put them in their own separate army to your regular army, because your regular army will act like that they are training as well and screw up the whole system. Now you're going to want to get construction 2 as soon as you hit 1937 and have a favorable research slot. Now, honestly, with the basic fire control system, honestly, you won't need it. Unless if you want flamethrowers or flamethrower takes. I don't know if that's a DLC thing because I've never actually gotten to research them yet. Then go ahead. But you don't have to. It's not a requirement. When you get a doctrine, make sure that you don't right click it, because if you do, then that pop-up is going to disappear and there is literally no way out of that I know of to access it other than that stupid pop-up. That's a nice Constantinople. Oh wait, no, it's called Istanbul. That's a nice Istanbul you got there. It should be called Constantinople though. Maybe I've been reading too much about the Ottoman Empire. Just a tiny bit too much. Don't mind my cat, he loves me. And the microphone. He especially loves the microphone. Yeah? Hello, handsome man. You're very important, kitty. I love you. Start the synthetic industry path because it will automatically give you a synthetic silo. Yeah, you insult the USA by saying, ask how Belgium has 1914 neutrality. 1914 neutrality act worked for them. That happens when you play as Hungary and Canada, but I haven't played through France, Britain, any of the Chinese nations, or the Soviets enough to see how they respond. I'm assuming the Soviets are gonna go the aggressive route. It's raining, it's pouring. There's a funny bug where if the storm passes, there's a chance that it'll just say mud as the weather. See? The weather is mud. I hate mud. It's such a bad weather condition. It's beautiful. The weather is mud. Beautiful. Best part is it stays like that for a while until it decides that, yeah, the weather's clear enough. Bobo, what do you think about the weather that is mud? Oh, it happened again in Kingdom of Yugoslavia. That's known for being very hot. As you could see, the moment I scrolled onto it, it became very hot. You can see either very hot or freezing cold. You cannot win if you play Yugoslavia. Well, you can. It's gonna be a pain, but you can play Yugoslavia if you want to. You got Dispersed Industry 1. And with your 100% industry boost from that last path, you're going to want to get oil processing or rubber processing. Because the other will be boosted by the Turkey. 300% research bonus for synthetic resources. So when the next research thing comes out of production, let's say the kit for computing, as this one showed, you go to 300% rubber processing. So when that second focus hits, you now have rubber and oil processing way before than it actually expects. Just really depends on your timing though. Sometimes your timing can get messed up. The only downside is running out of focuses on the industrial and engineering path, as most out of researches, basically researching outside the engineering and the industrial path takes forever. And when it's finally done, you could have done so much more. Even if it was ahead of time, you could still do so much more, and it just will make you feel like that you regret it. But don't. Allergies. I'm getting Dispersed Industry 2. And with Excavation 2, there are some political actions, usually prospect for resources. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. 2 of them will probably require Excavation 2. Most of them will require Excavation 2. Some will require Excavation 3. And if it's oil well, it will require Excavation 4. That's just how it works. I'm playing this game without any DLCs because the base game is already expensive enough. Get fuel refining, as it'll basically make your synthetic refineries go very fast, and you'll gain much more fuel. And now it automatically built one synthetic refinery in Tenzinol. Invite foreign investors, start that. As a lead your way down a 5th research slot as Hungary. Improve machine tools, because you still want to be producing these two. I'm increasing the trade by 1 because I have extra iron from infrastructure building. And once all the one infrastructure buildings are completed, you're gonna then build one more infrastructure on every other land that still needs infrastructure building for maxing them out. The more maxed out your infrastructure is, the easier it is going to be to build on that area, and it'll be much quicker. And I'm going to put these two here. Since I'm putting Northern Hungary right behind the maxing out of its infrastructure, it'll go much quicker versus if I didn't have any infrastructure upgrades to the area yet. And this will max out Northern Hungary. Do we call it Hungary or Hungary? Air combat training expert, but you're not gonna start air training right away. You can't start it right away. You'll waste your time and your oil. You can also add fuel stockpiling. Basically, you build these fuel silos. If you have a civilian economy, it might screw you over, but that's fine. And instead of increasing the construction cost per that building, it'll actually decrease the cost. Remember that synthetic refineries take a long time. Not you. Who's trying to grab the other one? I'm just adding more fuel storage so I can have more fuel for any pilot exercise. And stop! I'm holding you down with my quick key. It's expensive, but it's not as expensive. If you want to do the faster one first, fine, do it. But only for your maxed out ones. Like, you go to infrastructure. Oh, let's see. North Transtibunia? I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that. Then put it like high up. But if it still hasn't completed the infrastructure quite yet, then don't do it. Put the infrastructure beneath military factories. Put reinforced electrical grid or high capacity electrical grid, depending on which one you decide to choose. Below infrastructure, and finally at the lowest is supply hubs. Now the supply will be kind of random on who wants it and who doesn't. And only now, because I have no room, I'm gonna research tactical bomber, which is technically required for production. It's either nationalists or Republican Spain that wins. I've noticed that the fascist Spain, unlike in our time, keeps on failing no matter. Like, it just keeps on failing. It's annoying. And we got some resources from that infrastructure buildup. Now that I'm at 1938, I can focus on engineering and possible other production if I don't have enough room. Just grab your basics. If they're not required, they're not required. You don't need to research the naval planes if you're planning on going to the sea but haven't done it yet. Yes, you can be prepared if you want to, but it's just wasting your time, and you can't waste time in this game. Because if you waste your time, then what's gonna happen? Oh yeah, you're gonna waste time potentially building up defense, offense, so on and so forth. If you're gonna do offensive battle, select army offense. If you're gonna do defensive, do defense. If you're doing defensive, just build land forts. But if you're not, there might be no point, depending on who you ask. And if you're not done automatically expanding by other countries, let's say the German Reich gives me this claim and this claim, and eventually part of Romania, only then can I start building land forts on the borders. Or you can just do it early anyway. And on the inner land, it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna do offense. Attack can be king, it just really depends on the situation. Oh, look at that, there's nothing I can upgrade. So instead of that, let's go to engineering and go to computing machine. Takes a long time, but opens up 2 options. And then I'll get radio. Oh, decryption once the computing machine is done, so on and so forth, and possibly fire control if I do not have. God damn it, Austria. Why are you like this? Basically, you want to focus on industry and engineering above other things, but if you can't focus on it, then focus on things that you already have versus getting something new that you probably will never use. It's just that simple. Yes, you do already have research on some things automatically, but it doesn't mean that you have any template for them. But if you say, upgrade the tank to a heavy or light tank, then all of a sudden you have a template for them. And then expand the Technological University of Budapest. And then we'll have 5 research slots. Nice. And before you ask, yes, that is the maximum amount of research slots that you can get. Hungary does have good research speed, it just really depends on what you put into them. But if you want to be a specific country, it doesn't always get type of country doesn't always guarantee being good at sciences. We don't need any oil, but it's panicking because we have barely any fuel and it'll refill in a stupidly long time. Doesn't mean that you're already spending it. It just means that it's taking a longer time than expected to refill, so it's panicking. Get a 1936 version of everything that it wants you to have. You don't have to, but you could if you want to. Army regrouping experts. And improve radar. You still got to unlock radar. Using the air experimental facility. I'm going to start putting my nuclear research facility, my land warfare facility, and my aerodynamics and avionics facility to get the radar. Because I need my radar. You can also get anti-air guns. That's cool too. It's cool. You don't have to get it, but it's still kind of fun. Now I have an extra research slot. What do you want to do? I'm gonna do the anti-aircraft. Not because I'm gonna use it in a unit. Because I want to. Balanced budget gives you 120 political power. I'm gonna go to the fascist king route versus the other route because I don't like the other route. I just don't like it. They still give you the same results, but they're different. Like this will just give you minus 25% political power gain, but consumer goods will go down. But this doesn't have any downsides. Sure, there's only 2 versus, 4. But it's a much easier route to go down. It adds stability on this part. This is why I'm not stopping any fascist growth. Now, if you're still building, but you don't think you're building something important, expand your mines. Yes, it can abandon some things for 2 months. But resources are worth it in the end, especially if you're playing a small country like Hungary. You don't get them on a steal? Dang. Forgive me, I have something that's making me sick that refuses to go away. I have my pretty kitty. I have my pretty kitty. And he has me. Right, Bobo? Right. Fourth international. How many more internationals will there be? Strengthen the monarchists, start that. And then I'm going to add, you can either add compassionate gentleman or smooth talking charm. This one helps with resistance, and if you don't have cores on certain territories, resistance is going to be a huge problem. Especially if you have low manpower, like, say, playing a disarmed country with the treating of Tyran. That's the Munich Agreement. Remember, they only have 72 units, but it's purely for defense. But if it's for artillery, anything else still be maxed at 24 units. So even if you are just defending us at 72, I still recommend splitting them up into 24 per unit. The same as always. Encryption and decryption. I think it's meant to be anti-spy, but I haven't gotten any spies yet. Look at that. Now I can build an anti-aid crate. Now I got this for producing things. And then I'll just put it beneath these guys. How do you say the Treaty of Triton is affecting Austria-Hungary? Or should I say, just Hungary now? I see. This man refuses to comment. That's okay. This is a pretty sensitive topic. So you're going to do what? King? Most objectives take 70 days, some take up to 5 days. And look at that. I can go to engineering real quick. Military theorist, because I'm not very good with it. If you play Hungary, there should theoretically only be one air thing, and that's entirely for ground support. I'm gonna get military police to prevent further resistance from this part, because this part won't be claimed as a core even if I reaffirm territorial claims. 1939, now you can upgrade your industry fully. It's frozen! It's frozen! I love how they're frozen and they're frozen. You know, I'm not frozen. Cool.
Indulásra kész.
And now I can remove it from here to here. And without any manpower, your garrison gone. But this will be notified by, you know, reaffirming your territorial claims. I'm getting the basic fire control system just in case. And no, I don't want to use this, thank you. No, I can produce a lot more a day. Now we are going to elect a fascist king to renounce the Treaty of Triton and reaffirm our territorial claims. That way this resistance will shut up. And then we'll save for 150 for resistance at any time. For 150, I can just upgrade this. Oh, it's 4 ships. I guess the flamethrowers are part of the DLC. I'm gonna upgrade my military police again. Yeah, you want to get ground support. You don't have to do a naval command, but it'll be really funny if you do it because you can still get grand doctrines even if you don't have. Like, if you don't have an air force, you can still get a grand doctrine if you put a commander in it. Same thing with the Navy. I don't know how you wouldn't have an army, but that also would happen for the army. Oh, nice. More land I don't care for. Cool. Thanks, Germany. I'm gonna upgrade my military police again because resistance. I get even more suppression. Yay! And it's usually added to this. Add the military police. And you will save. Oh look, I have 1 corium. Cool. Now you have to have free manpower. Does it count your army being in the region as manpower? For garrisons? For no good reason, apparently. So you have to have free manpower and it'll funnel into this until the resistance stops and it eventually becomes a core state or just is stuck at a standstill. So 2 more days. Great, Albania, that's great for you. You no longer exist. Another batch of maps made obsolete. This bothers me. It doesn't make me want to invade, but it wants me to either, as Germany, give them this piece of land, or I take this piece of land, but that's less favorable. And resistance to occupation is high. You can make a puppet if you want to. I will not, because I'm so close. So close! Do that one since we support equipment. Keep up one. Cool. Runs resistance and then do for usually built into it, but it's fine. I already get pre-do that. Because by the time I get most of these, it's core states. They become core states by resistance eventually ending, or the international focuses, or isn't national. Sophia focuses for this part of land, but not this part of land. Don't worry, as long as you have enough garrisons and the resistance goes down, you'll be fine. Probably. Oh, look at that. Hires a Navy officer, and your experience will go up. Even without any battles or any training. It's beautiful. And then I'm gonna reform territorial claims, and meanwhile get more manpower. Shut up! Sorry about that. I get just a tiny bit angry. I've heard that blare a lot while playing as Italy. It gets on my nerves. That's expected remaining folds. You also gain experience via training soldiers or doing exercises. Now this division. Links. See how it's decreasing? Like it just flashes for a second. That happens when you are a disarmed nation, but you renounce a treaty. That makes you, you know, less disarmed, which kind of results in a flicker of manpower. Sometimes it goes into the garrisons, other times it does not. And other times it just does it slowly but surely, like you saw. And you can do the Great War Infantry. I'm doing this for defense. Because some fat nation is on my border. And soon 2 fat nations. Maybe even 3. Actually, no, it'll be 3 fat nations will be on my border. Excluding Italy. That doesn't look fat. That just looks like a boot. A weird boot. Yes, I know you're angry. Very angry and scary. You're so scary. You're so scary. I wanna get a shotgun. shoot you like the Americans probably shot at Bigfoot when they first saw it. Probably. It's not guaranteed, but they could have done it. Goodbye, Poland. Goodbye, it was nice knowing you. You literally stood no chance. Why did you think rejecting an ultimatum would go good for you against a superpower? No, I'm just gonna once I reaffirm territorial claims, this is a finesse, move the entire game. Yep, Bubba's laying on my keyboard. And once you have a new division, you see this? That means that they're trained, but it doesn't mean that they will do their best. So we're gonna basically do an exercise. It'll basically make it seem. It'll basically give all the debuffs a battle normally does, like attrition. If it has no orders assigned, it'll have that, you know, kind of works. And now this is considered a core territory, so we can detect. But this is not considered core territory. But it's, you know, helps. Radical air effort will decrease most air doctrines by a lot. Bubba. Is I on my keyboard? You see how it's decreasing even though you don't see an army increase? That means that all the army that's being added. Oh. All the army that's getting added is automatically getting funneled into the garrisons. And you will need support equipment if you use support companies. So it's always useful to have. And you're gonna wait for this to turn into silver color. Now I'm going to upgrade it to volunteer only, but then I'm gonna do the rest of these first. So that way I don't have to deal with this garrison. There we go. And for some demands, as Hungary, you will need to train your main power. Make sure to set the location. And put it in the this exercise unit once you're done. And it costs a lot less for Grand Doctrine. War games, I'm gonna start that. Now, if you want to deploy a certain amount of units after these unit lines are done, you could just press up or down. I just personally spam it because I'm silly like that. But you still want to have some leftover manpower because you will eventually take over some lands that do not belong to you. I have no tungsten. This is a grave day. This will basically make it so the next military factories that are produced will help produce this. I know I'm missing a tactical bomber. Then I'm gonna upgrade the infantry equipment again. Because I have nothing else to do. Why, Finland? Ready for the White Death pop-up? Because I sure am. Three, two, one. And no, 1940 will not be the year you can add to construction because that's 1941. It will be the year of engineering though. Possibly the year of planes. And anti-air, of course. From protection until I can max them out. Or gotten close to maxing them out. Army maneuvers. I got excavation B, 3 minutes with coal mines. Let's start with this. And once that fuel refining is, I can start with atomic research. Now we still have construction going on. But we're also mining for coal. I also have an export focus on, which is annoying, yes, but it's fun. Because now, I get free military factories from other people. You see, from trade, that means that the AI is trading with us, and we are giving them stuff in return for some consumer factories. Or civilian factories, whatever you want. Neutrality did not save Denmark! And it's not going to save Belgium, Luxembourg, or the Netherlands. But it will save Sweden. Because it only works with Sweden, apparently. I don't think you need to produce artillery, anti-air artillery, for this to, you know, be built to function. And yes, for prospect for resources, foreign civilian factories do work for this. And to get this part of Romania, you'll get oil. You know, you could probably just do synthetic oil or whatever. I'm gonna do steel ones. You can also use suppression to speed this up. If you want to. I wonder what I want. Wait, I have an idea. How about that over a year one that will take forever? Yep. Goodbye, Belgium. Neutrality didn't say them in 1914 or 1940. Cool.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna stop exercising and wait until my next recruitment lines are done. And then I'll put them in this, but then we put the trained one. Dear God, the notifications. That's anti-air.
Értettem.
No, just wait for this to deploy it this way. Deploy faster so I can train you all at once.
Figyelem.
That's fine. And training them with exercises will give a 25% combat bonus, which is cool, especially if you like living.
Készen állok.
And then put you in the other one. And then I can replace this with this. Or you could theoretically produce both if you want to. It'll be funny. Plus you'll get double the infantry equipment. But then again, having outdated stuff is not recommended. Now I'm just waiting for improved computing machine or 1941, whichever one comes first. Probably improved computing machine. So I'm just everything is an engineering and construction one way to actually upgrade engineering and construction. Oh, look at that, it helps with artillery.
Sorakozó.
Sorry. Oh, look at that, Legionary Romania joined Axis. And then I'm gonna get a free piece of land. Oh, look at that. Do something. That's crazy.
Sorakozó.
I just hear the battle cries of the damned. The doomed. I'm still gonna build them. And I'm feeling they're gonna give me some land soon. With the time. With the time, you found another way out. we can't do this because price may be an infection. I don't want to be in. Finally. Oh, cool.
Készen állok.
Yeah, you're across the ocean, but you're afraid of me.
Indulásra kész.
Fear me. Dear God, why are we carving up Romania? I get it, but dear God. I just want... $19 units. That's all I ask. To make this a full army. Bubba. Hello.
Indulásra kész.
What if I just... I could make it a front line, so that way... You have an army for each border.
Utasítások.
And they're about to run down. Yippee! And now let's put this one
Értettem.
and this one.
Készen
I'm gonna
állok.
put all but one.
Készen állok.
All but one to the other army.
Parancsok.
Start training. Oh, cool. I'm the state army, which means I don't need as much manpower. How many can I do rapid training? Apparently a lot. I'm gonna keep it at 24. It's still growing. It's still growing. The manpower is still growing. Bubble, Bubble, get off the arrow keys, please. Make me jerk downwards. I disabled the touchpad and there's so many ways to make chaos, which is adorable. Oh, stop. Yeah? Look at that, more decryption. I pause as soon as I can so I don't waste any time. It's beautiful. So I want to have 5 of everything. Everything. refinery. Then we go back to civilian, then military. It's a pattern. Bobo. 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 I'm gonna document name that Bobo.
Case. Case.
That was not trained at all. Welp. Guess we're doing this again. Again. You go, Slavia, I say, as they try to invade said Slavia. Yay, atomic research, it's almost done, finally. I only need to press censorship. We can fight like that. Amusing. I didn't read that at all, but I read the part that said amusing. I just said that word. He loves his pets, he loves his pets, he loves them so much that he presses the Windows button. What did Ecuador do and why is Peru fighting them? I don't know what's happening there, but okay. There is something about history that I don't understand. So I admit I don't understand. Yeah, I love how there's no natural tungsten deposits. That's amazing. That's amazing. Why is it called tungsten?
Indulásra kész.
Okay, we can stop episode now.
Figyelem!
I don't think I'm gonna make it. That's 80 days. 80 days I don't have. Upgrade railroad. Man, I know you're a grumpy little baby, my baby boy. I'm just gonna Bubba. Yeah, they're not gonna last long enough for me to justify against them. Damn it.
Értettem!
Oh well. Stop. 28. Bubba. Bubba. Stop. Don't try to eat the wire, Bubba. I see you looking at it. Don't you do it. I already picked it. Go away. Thank you. Bobo, do you know why I love you? You sleeping? No, I will not join your faction yet. They don't exist. How am I meant to declare war on a non-existent country? That's the cool part. I'll just wait until they exist again. You sleepy kitty. He fell asleep on the computer and it's adorable. The world is on fire because of the German Reich. Can't train anymore because we don't have any equipment. So can't produce trucks. Because these military factories won't build themselves any faster. Vultures picking on a corpse. I do agree, it is vultures picking up on a corpse. I mean, picking from. I hope that went to the German communications. Huh? I think I'm gonna end the stream the gameplay here. I think I've gotten pretty far. Bye.